I tried other jobs. I did. When I was 15, I got a job in construction. I was like, maybe I'm a man. And I made it 3 days. Here's what happened. I got a job with this construction company called, Mark. It was just this dude, Mark. And his buddy, Greg. That was the entire construction company. They would remodel houses. They would hire a high school kid every summer to clean up their messes, you know? So day 3, I get my first real assignment that's not just cleanup. We get to a 3-story house in New Jersey, and we get out of the truck, and Mark goes, all right, Julian, I want you to get to the 3rd floor of that house on the outside and take all the storm windows off. So then he got in his truck and he went to the store before I could say, I don't know how to do anything you just said. So I'd never been on a ladder higher than this before in my entire life. And I'd never even been on the top step of that ladder because the sticker is like, this is not a step. And I was always like, you got it, ladder. What kind of maverick would get on that top step? Now I'm 3 floors up on a ladder, and it's terrifying. Have you guys ever been 3 floors up on a ladder? Yes. Have you? Yeah. You have? Well, yeah, but look at your face. You're like a dude. We know, sir. We know. You've probably brought a woman to orgasm. So, if you've never been 3 floors up on a ladder, it's terrifying. You're really high up. The ladder at that height shakes like crazy because your legs are shaking because you're a pussy. So now I'm up there. I go to reach for the storm window. A storm window, if you don't know, is 4 feet of solid glass. That's what a storm window is. There's no break in the middle. It's just 4 feet of solid glass. And I go to pull it off, and I can't get it off. So I start twisting it really hard. If you twist a pane of glass, it shatters immediately. So I lean over, and I twist it really hard. It shatters right in front of my face, like 2 inches from my face. The top piece was like a perfect guillotine blade that had stayed in the frame and slid past my nose like a 1/4 inch away. I felt the wind go by my nose. I almost got my face cut off 3 floors up on a ladder. So I just panic laughed. I didn't know what else to do. I was like, woo! So while I'm laughing, another piece of glass, the size of a slice of pizza, had gone in my arm on this side and come out the other side and was literally sticking through my arm. So I was like, woo! And I rip it out immediately. Yeah, you're all right. Do not do that. I think the rule is if an object goes through your body, you leave it in until you die of natural causes. So I pull it out. Blood starts shooting all over my chest and neck and face. I'm freaking out. I get down the ladder as fast as I can. I need an ambulance. I don't knock on the front door, right? The family's home. But I don't know if you guys remember being a 15-year-old boy. When you've screwed up, the scariest person you could possibly talk to is a male head of a household you don't know. I didn't want to knock on the door, and then he answers, and I'm like, hi, sir. I broke your window. I'm bleeding to death, and I have a boner, probably. I'm 15. It was windy up there. Is that your daughter? So I would rather avoid awkwardness than die or whatever. So I run around to the back of the house and I find Greg. Remember, Greg's the assistant. Greg turns around and sees a screaming, blood-covered teen running at him. And his face looked like the first time you saw The Ring, where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. He was like, what the f-? I was like, I know! He calls an ambulance. They stop the bleeding. I'm going to be okay, but I definitely need stitches, right? So they take me to the emergency room. They call my dad from work because I'm a minor. So now the doctor's right here, I'm right here, and my dad's right here. And the doctor goes, what happened? And I go, well, a piece of glass the size of a slice of pizza went in my arm, and I pulled it out. And he goes, ooh, well, if it was glass, we're going to have to flush that wound from the inside and make sure there's not bits of broken glass still stuck in your arm. So I go, it was wood. So we don't need to do whatever you were just talking about. And he was like, you're lying. And I was like, you're a good doctor. Who are you, House? So He takes a syringe, like this huge plunger full of brown liquid. It was like iodine or something, right? He puts it in one hole, and he goes like that. The iodine shoots through my arm, comes out the other side, but what nobody had anticipated is that it would shoot out so hard, it would fly into my dad's open mouth. True story. So my dad, who hitchhiked all over this country in the 60s, who knows what's been in that guy's mouth? This is the grossest thing that's ever been in his mouth. So he's dry heaving and trying not to throw up. The doctor's terrified because he doesn't know if he can be sued for just doing something gross to somebody. I notice the tension in the room, so I go, "Hey, Dad, was there any glass in there?" The doctor cracked up. He was like, "You should be a comedian." And I was like, "Ah, that's what I'll do."